Welcome to 3 horror story animated. You know, 3. We're on a roll on the whole Freaky Fear Friday, so we gotta go with the Wansee. My boys at Wansee Entertainment. Please go check them out. Let me show you. I am subscribed to Wansee. Y'all see all the stuff I watch. I am subscribed to Wansee. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this video like because it is 12 o'clock right now. I'm about to hit this up. So without further ado, let's get into true scary stories from what? I ain't even know how to pronounce that, so I'm not even gonna try.
Hi.
I mean, yeah, you know what I meant.
Fan of your show. This happened to me a few years ago. I'm a guy and I was in my 30s at the time. I live in a Scandinavian country. Back then, I used to go for walks late at night.
Yeah.
It was a pretty safe area, or at least...
Who walks like this? You walking like that one girl from Yandere Simulator. I'm sorry, I named the game that shall not be named. But, why she... Bro, what? Bro. And does he only... 1, 2, 3, 4. He only got 2 fingers and a thumb on each hand.
It used to be. But things started getting worse. More violent crime.
This is not somewhere I would be living. If I see a wanted poster of the same 2 dudes, same 2 losers on each poster, no.
Mostly gang related. Still, if you minded
I didn't mean it. I was just joking.
your own business, it wasn't usually a problem. So one night, around midnight, I was out walking.
Why are you walking at midnight?
Apartment
It
building,
is midnight right now.
and 2 men were pacing
By the way, my
back
PC
and
time
forth
is
around
incorrect,
it.
so.
I recognized the building. A retired teacher from my school lived there. She was probably in her 50s by now. It felt a little strange seeing these guys circle the place, but I didn't think too much of it. Then I noticed they were acting off. They were standing on their tiptoes, peeking through windows. One of them even picked up a stick and walked back across the yard. That's when I realized they were about to break in, and I had just walked into the middle of it. They noticed me. They stopped and turned and
I got the light on, blanket wrapped around me.
Stared directly at me. My gut told me to move, fast. So I turned left to get out of there, but the path wasn't great either. It led past a school and an open lawn, totally empty. No people, no cover. I glanced back. At first, the men walked the other way, but when I made the last turn in front of the school, I spotted them again, hiding behind a bush, watching me, waiting. There's no way they ended up there by accident. If they weren't planning something, they wouldn't have followed me like that. At one point, I was almost home, so I did the only thing I could think of. I took my jacket off and held it up, like a decoy. Then, I ran, casually, back to my house. Nothing happened. They didn't follow me.
You just led them back
But
to your
I
house?
know
Are you dumb?
I got lucky that night. If I hadn't turned left, if I'd kept walking straight into the dark, they probably would have robbed me. I still go for walks late at night sometimes, but only for 10, maybe 15 minutes. And I always stay close to the buildings, somewhere people can see me, just in case.
Oh. So this is real. I didn't think it would, when they say true, this is, oh no, this actually freaks me out because these dudes, this means these dudes were never found. Now the next true horror story of the day is gonna be true breaking horror story. This will actually get me freaked out because I'm not home alone, but it is late at night, as I did say. It actually legitimately just turned 12. It was like 12:50. It was 11:50 something before. Now it's actually 12. So it's late, and I'm hoping I can get done with this video as soon as possible. But as I said, go check out Wansee. But this seems like it's just one horror story video, so let's get into it.
This happened in 2012 when I was 10 years old. My family of 7 had just moved into a new house in a sketchy neighborhood. There had already been several arrests on our block, and some houses had even been destroyed by fire. The house itself was old, very old.
Oh, yeah.
The basement.
Bro, why your dad look like he might be Frankenstein's monster? He might be Frankenstein's monster, bro.
Looked like something out of the Italian catacombs. It was completely unfinished, with nothing but dirt for a floor. When we moved in, we noticed the basement door had been locked.
I'm sorry for pausing so much already, but what do you mean you're moving into a house with the dirt for a floor? Parents.
With a chain from the...
I mean, like, sorry, yet again, I'm pausing it, but like, I'm sorry. Most people might not be fortunate enough to have a floor. I feel bad now. But like, at the same time, go to a homeless shelter. If you can't afford a house with a floor, go to a homeless shelter. They have floors. Like, buddy.
Inside. That should have been our first warning. There was also a lot of windows throughout the house. To get from my room to the bathroom, I had to walk past the kitchen and the back door. Anyone who grew up in a rough area knows how unsettling it is to walk past uncovered windows at night.
Oh, yeah.
That detail will matter later. I shared a room with my older brother Nick. I was always a pretty paranoid kid and had trouble falling asleep, which is embarrassing to admit, but I used a nightlight until I was 12. One night, around 3 a.m., I woke up with a full bladder. I tried to ignore it.
Boy, you drenched in sweat, full bladder. Go sit your butt back down. You 12 years old. If you pee to bed, that's your problem. Cause I know people who peed themselves until they was the 6th grade. Why do I got no sense?
I hesitated, gathering my courage, before finally making my way to the bathroom.
Nah.
I walked...
I'm telling y'all, this is the type of day I'm paranoid. I would have grabbed the strap. But when I was a kid, I didn't got no strap, so I'm gonna grab the closest thing I could call a weapon, because I'm a scrawny little 12-year-old, and I'm gonna go through the house, guns blazing. So let's get it. If they want to get jiggy, let's get jiggy. Like what?
Cautiously checking every window as I passed. Everything seemed normal. I took a few more steps and turned into the living room, and my heart sank. A homeless-looking man stood at our back door.
Nah, that's good. Bro, why Santa Claus at the back door, bro? No, we got old man Jenkins trying to sneak in. That one dude from Teen Titans Go, you know, friggin' the dude that always had a can of beans on. I don't know what his name is, but hey, why he here? Why we got old man Joe? I think it was. We got you peeking in. Who does this? Who is weird like this to peeking through? I'm peeking through a window. If I'm in this guy's mindset, I'm peeking through the window, not some small little piece of 3 pieces of glass. I'm peeking through those big old windows. What they got? Oh, look like they got a. He doesn't even look like he got a weapon on him. What you plan to do when you get in? This could be the house of a world-class MMA fighter, and you're
his hands
over
around
here
his...
sitting here. What's in here? Bro, go walk in. Ryan Garcia gonna hit him with a. Freaking no. Mike Tyson gonna hit him with a. Nah, bro.
Eyes as he peered inside. I froze, my breath catching in my throat. Then, moving as silently as I could, I ducked behind the couch. My mind raced. Did he see me? I needed to wake up Nick. He was 3 years older than me and had a cell phone. I didn't. I began crawling toward our room when I heard something that made my stomach drop. The back door lock turned. This man, this stranger, had a key to our house. For the first time in...
Yeah, this the part of the story where it ends because he wasn't able to finish the story. Chat. I don't think he was able to finish the story. I'm gonna keep it 100% a buck. This dude, he don't make it to the next part. There ain't no next part. Nick's the one telling the story. Nick's the one telling the story. This dude is on hospice right now to finishing his part of the story as Nick is trying to spread the word.
In my life, I whispered, "Shit." I pressed myself tighter against the couch, barely daring to breathe. The door.
Oh, Hanks, no!
Opened.
I was completely wrong! We got 8-foot-tall basketball player walking up in here! Oh my god! He look like he know Kung Fu! He about to stroke his beard out here. He about to crane kick him, my boy. He about to pull a Robin on him.
The man stepped inside, moving carefully, quietly, as if he had done this before. He was tall, around 6'2", with a long grain.
How'd I know? Oh my goodness, he's the same size as John Cena. Oh my god!
Beard that reached his chest. A hat and a hoodie concealed most of his face. He walked into the kitchen and opened our pantry, casually pulling out a bag of chips. Then, without hesitation, he unbolted the basement door and disappeared down the stairs, leaving it unlocked. For a moment, I just sat there, paralyzed. Then, panic set in. I realized something terrifying. He would hear my footsteps if I tried to move. My mind raced for a solution. I spotted my little sister's blanket draped over the couch. Carefully, I pulled it toward me and slid my feet onto it, using it to muffle my steps as I made my way toward the kitchen. The basement door was only a few feet away. I swallowed hard and whispered to myself,
"Oh man, I forgot something."
Then I sprinted. I reached the door and slammed the bolt shut, just as I heard heavy footsteps pounding up the basement stairs. A loud thud rattled the door. I turned and bolted up the stairs leading to my parents' bedroom, grabbing a knife from the kitchen counter.
Whoa!
I shook my dad awake, my whole body trembling.
This is Ryan Garcia!
"There's a man in the basement," I managed to stammer. My dad shot up instantly, grabbing the knife from my hand. He was a...
Oh my god! Oh my fault! This is John Cena! We got John Cena out here! Built like a tank out here! Oh my god! Marry me!
Big guy who worked out every day. If anyone could handle this, it was him. My mom, meanwhile, called the police. They said they were 5 minutes away. She didn't want to leave my little sister downstairs, so she took my hand, and together, we made our way back to the kitchen. Just as we stepped onto the floor, the basement door exploded open. The man tackled my dad, sending them both crashing to the ground. They struggled, fists flying, my dad trying to pin him down. I didn't think, I just reacted. I sprinted to the kitchen, grabbed another knife, and rushed toward them. My hands shook, but I raised the blade, ready to stab the man.
Give it to me!
My mom shouted. I hesitated but handed her the knife. Without missing a beat, she stabbed the man in the back. He let out a strangled cry, giving my dad the chance to overpower him. My dad flipped him over, pinning him face down with his arms locked behind his back. I stood there, panting, my heart hammering in my chest. Then, the sirens. The police stormed inside. My siblings, now awake, ran into the room, screaming at the sight of the blood-streaked floor. My older sisters pulled me into a hug, wiping away my tears as I shook uncontrollably.
She didn't want to have
the man survived the stabbing and was taken to the hospital before being arrested.
Of literally putting a dude night. So, W moms.
But the scariest part, we never figured out how he had a key to our house. That night still haunts me. I don't know what he wanted. I don't know how long he had been coming and going. and I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't locked that basement door in time. But I do know one thing. My mom didn't let me stab him because she didn't want me to carry that weight for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
And for that, I'll always be grateful.
That one gave me chills. Okay. After a long time of regrouping after that last animation, we're watching the last animation of the day. Next week will be live action horror stories. I'm gonna try to find a channel that does real life horror stories. But we're back. Without further ado, I found something that won't hit as close to home since I found something that hit very close to home. Literally, I found something that I've only done once, and that's camping. True camping horror stories animated. I don't think I'm gonna go camping anytime soon, so this should be a very good but scary horror story because, I'm not gonna lie, Wansee has knocked it out the park after the last few weeks of boring, funny-ish horror stories. Wansee has knocked it out the park.
Hi, my name's Luke, and this is a story about what happened to me and my friends on a camping trip 3 years ago, when we were all between about 14 and 15. Since it was the beginning of summer vacation, my friend Lucy had this idea to go camping.
Yeah. Hello. Are you good? I was just watching this horror story and it was gonna creep me out. So. But I'm finishing up my video right now, so.
With her other friends, Katie and Maurice. As I was quite the risk taker, I added to the idea, saying that we should start our trip in the woods at 1 a.m., just for a bit of fun. I told Lucy, what's the worst that could happen? Now I look back and think how bad it could have been. But Maurice and Katie organized the supplies, 2 small tents, some snacks, and other camping equipment from my garage, while Lucy and I went out into the forest early to try to...
Yo, this looks a little, hey yo, I'm not gonna lie. Why is bro bent, like, completely vertical while she finna stuff something into the van? This is not looking too good for bro. I think he might be getting
find a spot to set up. We'd been walking for a while when I suddenly heard this rustle in the bushes.
It's just
I looked over at Lucy with a confused glare. What was that? Lucy asked me.
It's just the animal.
I obviously had no clue, but being the cool guy that I thought I was, I peeked over the bush slowly. What I saw will haunt me for the rest of my life. I immediately shouted.
Nah, cause this is exactly how I know this ain't real. Or it's just really exaggerated, cause there ain't no way there's this buff dude that caught a deer with his bare hands. This has to be like a pre-killed deer, like some other animal got it. So you know why he's in some freaking khaki, freaking suit pants with some freaking loafers on, freaking crease in his shoe, the worst crease I ever seen ever. Ain't no way.
In horror, trying to cover my mouth while staring at what looked like a middle-aged man eating a dead deer. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but this man was no hunter. This deer corpse was basically rotting, as you could see its ribs sticking out, and he was gnawing at it like a dog. It was a gruesome sight. Suddenly, this man turns around, saw me and Lucy, and immediately ran away on all fours, leaving this deer carcass on the ground. Lucy immediately grabs me. We both run right back to meet Katie and Marie.
Maybe he was playing some dog play with his girl or something, and his girl told him, go eat some of that rotting corpse over there and you get some tonight. Maybe.
So we're about halfway down our street with the camping supplies. Katie asked why we looked so shocked, but it took us a few minutes to be able to actually get the words out. The sight had been so blood-curdling. For some reason, Katie and Maurice didn't believe us. They still wanted to go camping, so Stupidly, we returned to the woods. We went at least to a different spot.
Y'all got it.
Maurice and I began to set up this camp in this.
No, cause if you don't believe me and my friend, me and my friend are out of there. y'all could go sacrifice yourself to Mr. Buff Wolf Creature. No, I don't like freaking. From that one episode of Sanjay and Craig, like, no, we ain't wolves, we humans.
Big, flat area with a lot of trees surrounding
I'm dipping.
it. Seemed cool.
By the way, chat, I'm sorry if I'm low energy right now. If y'all don't know how long it was a pause from the first part of the video that was being filmed, the first part of the video started being filmed at 11 and ended like at 12 something. Now we're at 2 o'clock. We're probably gonna end it about like 2:15. So that's how long it's been. So that's why I'm so like a little bit drained.
Isolated as the trees blocked all the sunlight. Being teenagers, we thought it'd be fun. Everything was going well, actually. We each drank a couple of beers, even though we weren't allowed. Maurice had stolen them from his dad, so we were all absolutely wasted. After a while, we decided to head into our tents. Of course, I slept in the tent with my friend Maurice, and the two girls slept in the tent across from us. At around 3:15 a.m., I think, I awoke to this strange noise. I was about to awake Maurice when I suddenly remembered that creepy man from earlier. I felt this chill shoot down my spine as I slowly unzipped the tent just enough to look through, but not enough for whoever was out there to notice. To my horror, I see this deer-eating man standing right.
With the man chesticles out, man. Hey, your gut hanging out, your one love handle. Not two, one. Not two, one love handle. But what are these? I thought he was buff. Nah, this dude fat.
Outside my tent. To make matters worse, he was holding this small pocket knife. I unzipped the flap all the way, shouted loudly, and immediately punched him as hard as I could. Unfortunately, I was still wasted, and he managed to get a hold of me. He made this shallow cut right across my arm with that knife, but before he could do any more, fortunately, Maurice appeared and kicked him right in the crotch. The strange man let go of me, and I punched him multiple times until I knocked him out. Katie and Lucy tried to call the police, but there was no signal out where we were, of course. We grabbed our bags, leaving the tents and everything else behind, and just sprinted back to town. That night's mostly a blur at this point, but those are all the main points.
I think they were just drunk. Yo, Wansee, where's the blur? Yeah, I'll put something over that.
Let's just say that if it wasn't for Maurice waking up right at that moment, me deciding to scream, you wouldn't be hearing the story right now.
For real. But I'm telling you, imagine it was just you. Imagine you left. Imagine that you left. Like I said earlier, your friend would have been dead. Your friend would have been dead. I think it was just some teenagers making up a story. Oh, I think it's just some. I don't think this one's true. I think that it was just some teenagers drunk made up a story. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Go check out Wansee Entertainment. They're the true goats. So far, the best animation or horror short story creator we've watched so far, and the Freaky Fear Friday. It's actually got me looking over my shoulders. Actually got me scared to go to sleep tonight. All the videos will be in the description. The ones that I watched will be in the description. And I hope you enjoy. To see you next time.